Oh, precious people of God, hear me today not with the ears of the flesh, but with the ears of your spirit. For I know by the Spirit that there are some among you standing on the edge of something greater than you've ever known before. You've felt it, haven't you? That strange stirring in your soul, that holy discomfort that will not let you rest. You've walked the halls of life, feeling like you don't quite belong where you used to. That, dear one, is no accident. It is the whisper of heaven, a signal from the throne room that God is preparing you for something bigger. It does not begin with trumpets and applause. It begins in the quiet places, in the wrestling, in the wondering, in the aching of a heart that says, God, there must be more. And the Lord, in his infinite mercy, begins to wean you from the shallow places. He begins to close doors you thought would always be open. You stand before gates that once swung wide, now shut tight, and your heart cries, why? But I tell you, it is not rejection, it is redirection. God shuts doors not to deny you, but to protect you, to preserve you for the place you were always meant to walk into. Oh, beloved, the fire that surrounds you is not there to destroy you. It is the refiner's fire. It burns hot because it must purify deeply. There is a calling on your life, so weighty that only trial can prepare you to carry it. The Lord never sends the weight of his glory upon a foundation untested. Every great work of God begins with a breaking. Every vessel of honor must first be crushed and reformed. You say, but I feel weak. That's just the place where God begins. When the self is stripped, when the ego is silent, when the pride is laid down, then the Spirit can rise within you in power, and in that place he begins to awaken your spirit. You'll find yourself waking in the night with tears you don't understand. You'll hunger for the word like never before. Songs of worship will rise from your lips without effort. The old distractions lose their pull. Your friends may not understand, but you're being called, chosen, set apart. Do not despise the stretching. Do not resent the pruning. It is love that prepares you. Heaven is getting you ready for influence beyond your imagination, not for your glory, but for his. Not for the fame of man, but for the fame of the one whose name is above every name. Can you not see it? You are being shaped in secret for a purpose that will one day be revealed in the light. You must surrender, not halfway, not conditionally, all of it. When you give him your plans, your dreams, your fears, he gives you purpose. He takes your ashes and gives beauty. You think what you have now is all there is? Oh no. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you could ask or think. But first he must prepare you, and so I plead with you, stay in the process. Trust the hand that holds the chisel, for the master artist never makes mistakes. He knows what he's doing. What you're walking through today is not punishment, it's preparation. The delay is not denial, it's divine timing. The emptiness is not abandonment, it's a clearing for glory. There is more, there is so much more, bigger than your dreams, bigger than your pain, bigger than your past. God is not finished with you yet. Eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither has it entered into your heart what he has prepared for you, but by his Spirit he is revealing it even now. There are moments in life when everything around you appears normal, yet deep within, a holy unease begins to stir. You try to settle, to find comfort in familiar routines, but nothing satisfies. It's not anxiety or fear, it's something deeper, something sacred. It is a divine restlessness, placed there by the hand of God, gently nudging you out of where you've been and preparing you for where you're going. You walk into rooms that once felt like home, and suddenly they feel too small. Conversations you used to enjoy now feel shallow. Dreams you once chased begin to lose their shine, and though nothing seems wrong on the outside, something on the inside is shifting. This discomfort is not punishment, it is preparation. The Spirit of God is unsettling you because he knows you can't stay where you are. You were made for more, and before God brings you into a new season, he begins by breaking your attachment to the old one. It is the kindness of the Lord to not let you grow complacent. He begins to make you restless in the very place that once felt like your comfort zone, because he knows comfort will never produce your calling. This divine discomfort is heaven's way of stirring the nest, making what was once cozy now unbearable, not to harm you but to push you to spread your wings. You may not understand it while you're in it, but later you'll look back and realize the discomfort was actually God's voice, calling you higher, deeper, further. He disturbs you to develop you. He shakes you to shape you. And that uneasy stirring in your soul, that's the first whisper that something bigger is on the horizon, something that will require more of you because it will carry more of him. There are seasons in life where every effort seems to fall flat, every opportunity slips through your fingers, and doors that once opened with ease now remain firmly shut. You pray, you plan, you pursue, and still nothing moves. To the natural eye, it feels like failure. To the impatient heart, it feels like rejection. But in the realm of the spirit, these delays are not signs of abandonment. They are markers of divine orchestration. God in his infinite wisdom knows that timing is everything. A blessing given too soon can become a burden. A door opened prematurely can lead you into places you are not yet ready to stand. Find what looks like delay is often God's protection. He sees what you cannot see. He knows the battles ahead, the weight of what you're asking for, and the preparation your soul still needs. He is not withholding out of cruelty. He is shaping you in the waiting. Every closed door is a message from heaven saying, not here, not now. And though it may wound your pride or challenge your faith, it is working something eternal within you. In delay, patience is born. In delay, character is forged. In delay, the noise quiets enough for you to hear his voice clearly. And make no mistake, closed doors are not the end of the story. They are divine redirections. God doesn't slam doors to leave you outside. He closes them to guide you to the one he has already ordained. The delay is not a detour. It's the preparation ground for what you've prayed for. And when his time comes, the door he opens no man can shut. You'll walk through it, not in striving, but in the peace that comes from knowing it was God who opened the way. When God begins to prepare you for something greater, one of the first things that changes is your spiritual appetite. Suddenly, what once satisfied no longer feeds you. There is a stirring deep within, a quiet yearning that cannot be quenched by the things of this world. Your spirit becomes alert in ways it never was before. You find yourself weeping in worship, drawn to the word like never before, feeling the weight of his presence in the most ordinary moments. This is not emotionalism, it is sensitivity. The Holy Spirit is awakening your inner man, tuning your ear to heaven's frequency. You begin to notice things others overlook. A verse you've read 100 times begins to burn with new revelation. A whisper in prayer carries more weight than 1,000 words. You sense his nearness in the stillness, and your heart begins to long, not for blessings, but for more of him. Your priorities shift. The desire for entertainment fades. Noise becomes burdensome. You crave solitude, not to escape, but to meet with the one who is calling you closer. This is the work of divine preparation. He is teaching you how to hear, how to feel, how to discern. With this sensitivity also comes a sharpening of discernment. You begin to see the difference between what is good and what is God. The Spirit will begin to warn you of distractions, of compromises, of detours, cleverly disguised as opportunities. Your spiritual senses are being trained for where you're headed. The more you respond to his promptings, the more he reveals. And the more he reveals, the more you are transformed. This is not something you can manufacture. It is something heaven births within you. It is sacred. It is weighty. It is preparation for the greater glory he's about to entrust to your life. There comes a time in the journey with God when everything seems to be falling apart, and yet in heaven's eyes everything is actually coming together. These are the seasons of intense trial and testing, not because you are forgotten, but because you are being forged. The fire increases, the pressure mounts, and just when you think you've reached your limit, the intensity rises again. But what feels like crushing is actually crafting. God never wastes a trial. Every storm, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every unanswered prayer, it all becomes sacred in his hands, shaping you for something you cannot yet see. You begin to notice that the tests are not random, they are precise. They strike at the places where your flesh still clings for control, where your heart still wrestles with trust. He allows it, not to break you, but to build within you a faith that cannot be shaken. And this is the painful truth. Before God promotes, he purifies. Before he releases power, he demands surrender. You can't carry the weight of glory with untested hands. You can't steward his purpose with a divided heart. So he allows the refining fire not to harm you, but to strip away what cannot go with you into your next season. The wilderness is not the enemy, it is the classroom of the called. It's in the trials that you learn to lean, to listen, to love him not for what he gives, but for who he is. He tests not to destroy, but to reveal, to show you what's truly inside of you, and more importantly, to reveal who he is in the midst of the storm. The trial is not the end. It is the hallway to promotion, the proving ground of destiny, and the preparation for something greater than you've ever known. There comes a holy moment in your walk with God when striving ceases and the heart begins to whisper, "Not my will, but yours be done." It is not born out of defeat, but out of revelation. A deep awareness that his ways are higher, his plans better, his timing perfect. This desire for surrender doesn't happen all at once. It grows layer by layer as he draws you deeper into himself. You begin to lose your appetite for control, and a longing rises in your spirit to lay everything down, your dreams, your timelines, your identity, your future, on the altar of his will. You may have started your journey asking God to bless your plans, but now you find yourself saying, "Lord, write your plan on the pages of my life." That shift is not weakness. It is spiritual maturity. It is the sign of a soul that has tasted just enough of his goodness to trust him in the unknown. You realize that the safest place to be is in the center of his will, even if it costs you everything familiar. And the more you surrender, the more peace flows like a river, not because the road gets easier, but because you're no longer carrying the weight of trying to make it all happen on your own. Surrender is not passive. It is powerful. It's the cry of someone who has wrestled with God and emerged with a limp, but also with a blessing. It's the place where your ambition dies and divine assignment begins. In that sacred space of yielding, he can finally do what he's always desired, form Christ in you. And when he finds a surrendered heart, there is no limit to what he can do, through a life fully laid down in his hands. Beloved, if you find yourself in the stretching, the silence, the fire, or the waiting, do not despise it. These are not signs that God has forgotten you. They are the fingerprints of divine preparation. Heaven does not waste movement. Every delay, every disappointment, every tear is a tool in the hand of the master potter, shaping you for something far beyond what your eyes can see. The greater the assignment, the deeper the preparation. And if the shaking around you feels violent, it's only because the foundation beneath you must be unshakable. You are being prepared not just for a breakthrough, but for a becoming. God is not merely interested in blessing your life. He is interested in transforming it. He is not just taking you to a bigger place. He is making you into a vessel that can carry more of his glory, more of his love, more of his power. And for that, he must dig deep. So lift your eyes. Refuse to give up in the in-between. Heaven is nearer than you think. The weight you feel is not the end. It's the beginning. You are not being buried, you are being planted. And in due season you will rise, not in your strength, but in his. Not for your name, but for his. And the world will see, not the work of your hands, but the glory of the one who prepared you in secret. Stay faithful, stay surrendered, stay ready, because what God is preparing you for is so much bigger.